So as an installment to our mini-series about data types, we are now tackling strings. So this is the first part of the strings mini-series. So let's dive right into it. So strings are any literal surrounded by a single quotation mark or double quotation mark. It can be anything, an integer, an alphanumeric, a tuple, a set, or a dictionary, or even boolean. As long as it's surrounded by a single or double quotation, it is a string. Strings are also treated as an array or a list. They are indexed. They are mutable, meaning they can be changed or altered anytime. We'll get to know how in the next slides. They are also ordered since they follow a certain order. Since they're indexed, it follows the order of the index. So working with strings, as mentioned earlier, anything enclosed in a double quotation mark or a single quotation mark is a string. So there is no difference as to enclosing them in single or double quotation marks, as you can see in the example here. If you print out hello world in double quotation, you'll get hello world. And if you print out hello world in single quotation, you'll also get hello world. Next is assigning literals into a variable. Most likely you'll need to work on strings and store them in a variable for easier access. So here's how it goes. The main symbol or sign for assignment is a single equal sign. So anything on the left of the equal sign is the variable. So here A is our variable and anything on the right is the value. So in this case, hello world in double quotation marks is our value. So if we print A, we'll get hello world. And in Python, we also have a thing they call a multi-line string. A multi-line string is anything that has multiple lines in them. Carriage return character in it. For us to catch all these lines, we need to enclose them in triple double quotation or triple single quotation marks. So if you print A in this case, you'll get all the three lines inside. Hello world, this is a multi-line string. I can be assigned to a variable like this. So if you use triple single quotes, as indicated in yellow there, you'll still get the same output. Moving on to strings as list or array. We all know that when you assign hello world to A and you print out A, you'll get the whole hello world. But what if we are just to check a character? Strings can be treated as a list or an array, meaning you can access each character by their indices. So for better illustration, we have this mini table here containing the indices below each letter in the phrase hello world. Capital H is the 0th element and the 11th element is an exclamation point. In Python, unlike in other programming languages, we don't have character type string. Any string with length of 1 is considered a character. They are not called differently, just string in general. So if you want to print out the 0th element, you just need to specify the variable name and specify the index. In this case, index 0, so that'll print out capital H. If you print out the first index, you have E. Just like a list, you can also do negative indexing here. So you have that other table, but now if you can notice, index starts from the last character. But now if you're going to use it in your codes, you'll have to use it with a negative sign. So if you want to print out A -1, you'll get the exclamation point. If you print -2, you'll have to print D. Moving on to mutation, as mentioned earlier, string is also a type list, which is mutable. So how do we mutate a string? If we print out A, we're going to print out hello world. And for easier reference, we are pasting it back here. I wanted to change the 9th index, but I wanted to check it first. So I'll print the 9th index of variable A. So in this case, it should be L. So if you change to 9, mutating the ninth element to a capital L, you see that we changed that on the table there. And now if you print an A, you have to get hello world with the last L as a capital L. And if you print out the ninth element, you get capital L. Also, in Python, we also do slicing here. So you have hello world, printing out 0 from index 0 and stopping at index 5. If we can check it here, we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it stops here, meaning 5 is not included. So if we print out A0 up to 5, we have hello. If we print out from the 6th index up to the 11th, so we are to expect lowercase w up until d. We are excluding the 11th index because that is like our stopper, just the indicator that that is where we need to stop, and that is not included. So in this case, we have world without the exclamation point. You can also omit the start range, meaning it will include everything from the beginning and up until the stated index or your end range. So from the start, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we are expecting hello again, which it is. And we can leave out the end index, meaning it will start with index 6 and it will end up until the end of the string. So from 6 up until the end. So we have world with exclamation point. Another very common way of working with strings is string checking. String checking uses in or not in for syntax, and it returns a boolean value of true or false. For example, so if we test this out, if we are to look for hello, the string hello, in our string A, this will have to return true. The next example is lowercase h, E-L-L-O, string hello with lowercase h in A, that will have to return false because it's looking for the same case. So capital H is not the same as lowercase h. You can also store that in a variable. So in this case, looking for triple exclamation point, not in A. So if you print out my test, you'll have to see true because triple exclamation point is not in A. You only have one. You can also do this way. So print A, not in A. So that should be false because the whole string A, which is hello world, is being evaluated not in A, but it is there, so that's false. Okay, so yeah, that's it for today.